Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure showcase and review we're going to be looking at the 2012 Fall of Cybertron Deluxe Ultra Magnus figure. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes, help you decide how you want to display him. We'll have a look at the accessories that come with him, and what I'll show you is how you can break this down into 3 parts and indeed combine it with his normal blaster to make a ginormous sword as well. We can see how he displays and compares with some of the other figures in the same toy line, because as you've noticed he is actually a very small version of Ultra Magnus, but I think that again is due to the scaling to do with the game. We can also see how he compares, just for a bit of fun, even though of course they're completely different, with his original Generation 1 self, and indeed with one of the latest versions of him as well. So again, you can see that he is a really small version of him. Right, as I put these back, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to this channel, if they'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now, please, because it really will help me out. So what we're going to do then, we'll do some first impressions first and foremost, and that is of course exactly like this if you were to buy him and unpackage him straight away. So the figure itself, I actually really like the Fall of Cybertron toy line. It is quite basic in all aspects. What I don't really like, and this is just me being super picky, is the red eyes for him. I just don't think it suits him. Apart from that, the head sculpt isn't too bad. It is on like a mushroom or a ball and socket, so you've got full range of motion in it. Articulation in the shoulders, you can see, are also ball and socket. We do have a shoulder swivel or bicep swivel. We have a bicep flexion. We've got wrist swivel. We don't, yes we do, well, we have got waist swivel. I don't think it goes all the way around, and I don't want to oh, it will do. It will go all the way around. We've got waist swivel, ball and sockets in the hips, knee flexion, and indeed ball and sockets for the ankle tilt and rock. So for a figure that's 10 years old now, it's very, very articulate. Now you can see that every time I move these shoulders, sometimes, this is something to be aware of, it will drop his head down as well. So these black levers we need to keep up like so. Paint apps on here are brilliant. We've got the silver there, which is reflecting. The colour scheme is just, maybe it's just a little bit too dark for Ultra Magnus. Things to be aware of, again, he's a 10-year-old figure. These pop off so easily. You can see that these are just held on. In fact, I'll show you. Just by a tiny ball and socket there, they pop off very easy. It is something to be aware of if you're looking to have one complete for yourself. So the weapons, I'll show you in more detail how we combine them, but just for now, this is his blaster, and indeed there is his ginormous sword, staying in with the tradition of Fall of Cybertron figures of having hugely oversized weapons. Right, what we'll do now then, we'll have a quick look at him in his alternate mode and see how he fares like that. Okay, we're back, and as you can see, he's already in his alternate mode. Quick apologies for no transformation process on this video. Main reason is to keep the length of the video down, and the other is not to spoil it for anybody who doesn't want to see it, because they might want to purchase this after this review and indeed experience that first transformation process for themselves. Before we quickly have a look at this, I've spun the packaging around as well. So what we can do, we can see what I really like about these figures is the fact we've got like a tech spec on the back. We've got the lovely modes there, you can see, and I've already said I do really like this toy line, and I think the alternate modes as well are brilliant. We've got a little bit of a spiel there. I'm going to say pause, and if you want to, you can read that yourself. And I suppose let's just have a look at him. Now, again, I like it. I think it's very original. I like the fact that all the wheels do go around unrestricted, which is of course quite a good thing. The smokestacks at the top look good there. It's not too bad. I mean, can you tell that they're the fists? Maybe. I suppose, yeah, you can tell when you flip it up that it is just a folded up robot. But what I do again really like about these molds is the abundance of 5mm ports. It's something like very reminiscent of what's going on right now, with the fact that you can just get all the weapons and you can just attach them and power them up, etc., as however you want. So you can even attach the sword to the wheels at the back like so, and that looks really, I suppose, menacing, to be honest. But if I just grab, in fact, let's grab Ultra Magnus's siege gun as well, and this should fit. Yep, it will fit there on the back. So again, the fact that you've got these 5mm ports, there's even one there as well, so I could take off one of these again from Siege Ultra Magnus, and you can just totally overpower these and build all these up. And I just think it's a great idea. And again, and that's probably because, you know, it's a toy, and that's exactly what they're for. They are meant to be played with, and I think it's good for that reason. What I'm going to do is quickly just take these all off just so we can have another quick look at the alternate mode. So the wheels have got a lovely silver trim around them, nice bit of red detail there. The front looks good. This is the bumper bit which I've said to be aware of because these do pop off really easily, and you know, there's not much more to say. We've got the nice detail there on the Autobot logos which have been tamper-graphed on, but otherwise it's quite small, as I say, to give you an idea I suppose of just how small it is. I've got a couple of Legends figures here, and he's not, you know, much bigger than that. When it's in this mode, it's very, very small. And indeed, I've got an oversized KO Minibot just for another bit of fun comparison. So you can see he's not very big at all, but I think that's all there is to do with looking him at this mode. Let's come back for the final time with him as robot mode and see how he displays, and we can use and combine the weapon. Okay, then we're back, and just before we continue, there's something I need to be honest with you and share with you, and it is something to be aware of if you're after purchasing one of these yourself. I unfortunately, again, I've got no luck at making these videos. I've just actually broken one of the tabs on mine. So there was two of these, one there and one there, and these went in and they held the legs together on the transformation process. Now it just wouldn't come out, it was so wedged in. So I'm just making you guys aware that perhaps if you do the transformation, or if you're after one for yourself, don't push this all the way in. You don't really need to, and unfortunately, as I say, it may in fact snap. So there we go. If it stops any of you guys damaging yours, then it's worth it in the long run. Right, let's have a quick look how he looks with these accessories before we do the combinations, etc. So this actually, I've just realized, is a brilliant homage to the G1 original. It's just a different color. So let's take the G1 original, and yep, there you go. Pretty good homage to that. So you can hold it in a couple of different ways. We can pop it there, and we've got this again, giant, ridiculously oversized sword, which just seems to be a reoccurring thing in this toy line. They really do have giant accessories. Like, look, there's Sideswipe, and his is just so big he can't even hold it. Of course, it's down to the game, but it's just even funnier to see in person like that. With the weapons, so while we're having a look at some Fall of Cybertron figures, we'll bring up Grimlock, and again, I mentioned this at the beginning, but you can see just how small he is compared to him. It is again mainly due to the game and down to scaling, but obviously he's actually a bit smaller than Sideswipe, which to be honest you can't really have, but for the toy line I'll accept it with this one. Let's move these out of the way, and then let's show you now I don't know if it's documented or not. I don't think it's in the instructions, to be honest, but this is a great little bonus that what we can do with the accessories. And to be honest, you may have a bit of trepidation thinking that you're actually going to break this, because this will break into 3 pieces. Now this part here comes off relatively easy, separates from there, whereas this part here is a little bit more difficult. And with my luck, oh no, there we go. No, in my luck, I was going to say it might in fact break. So what we've got, and you can see it must be designed for it, because we've got all these grooves, all these cutouts here. So if we take the normal gun, and what we're looking at doing is lining, you can see these cutouts here and on there. We're going to line these up like so. Oh no, that way round. It's because I've got it backwards to me. I need to push it in there just so you guys can see. So when you've got it round this side, that's what we're looking at doing. You can see it will fit there, no issue. Now on the back, you've got this long line, double line at the top, which is going to fit into there. So that's exactly what we're going to look to do. There we go, that's clipped into position. And then the final thing we need to do is just extend the handle. So we're going to take this, and let me just work out. Yeah, there we go. That is now going to slot into there like so. So you've now got an even bigger ginormous sword, which again, it looks okay. It doesn't look too bad at all. It reminds me of the Japanese continuity of figures with who had all giant swords and stuff. So I don't mind it, to be honest. I think it looks quite cool, but you can't hardly see him at all. So what I'm going to do is take it out of his hands just for now, just to finish the video up by doing some Ultra Magnus comparisons. So I'm not going to do all of them. I'm just going to do, as I say, the original one and the latest one, just to give you an idea of how he's changed. So see what I mean about the darker blue? I think he's just a bit too dark. I know the Takara version of this is a lighter blue, to be honest. And again, you've got a sense of scale of how big the original Ultra Magnus was. And then we've got one of the more recent. I know there's a Kingdom one in the spoilers pack, but I've just gone with this one just for now, just to do the comparisons to show you. So there we go. That is Fall of Cybertron I nearly said Ultra Magnus. I hope you enjoyed looking at him. Ultra Marcus, by the way, is another YouTuber who does amazing stop motion, if you want to take a look at his channel as well. But anyway, this is Ultra Magnus Fall of Cybertron 2012. Hope you enjoyed looking at him. Hope it helped you with your decision, and again, I hope it helped you not break or damage yours. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.